Hello, I'm Nickolas Brown.
And I'm Heather Nicole.
And straight from the LSC-CyFair studio,
The Barker Beat starts
now.
In the Black Box Theater, we have the production of Dog Sees God going on November 29th and 30th.
I went behind the scenes to get the story on the Peanuts gang, all grown up.
Remember the classic Peanuts comic strips in the Sunday paper? Charlie Brown, Beethoven, Pigpen, Sally, and the crew are all making a comeback in the performance troupe's upcoming production of Dog Sees God. Directed by Tavian Glenn Jr., the production has had an interesting start as it relates to the lives of many teens.
To me, it felt that when I read the play, a lot of the experiences in the play in regards, it meant and it spoke to a lot of the experiences I had during high school. You know, there's always, that guy that everybody wanted to hang out with. There's a kid going through a specific time in his life where he's growing up. There was always those cool kids that sat at the table, a bunch of different cliques and everything like that. And it spoke to a lot of the experiences that I had in high school and a lot of experiences that, I thought a lot of other people could relate to. And it's just a hilarious play. And more than being hilarious, it's also filled with drama. It's filled with heart and a lot of emotion. It in a way, Dog Sees God runs the gamut of emotions. So the people who come to see this play, they'll be able to relate in some form or fashion. They'll be able to relate like, oh, I remember that guy in high school. He acted this certain way. He acted like a jerk, but this guy had my back. Just a lot of things, coincide with each other. And I think that's something that people are going to really enjoy when they come see it opening day.
The production brings up issues such as drug use, suicide, violence, and identity that many teenagers and young adults often face during the same age as the characters.
Well, Beethoven is basically the outcast of the cast. He is a misdirected, misguided, bullied individual who's just had a rough life through an upbringing in his childhood that goes into his teens. I mean, a lot of people can relate to him. Beethoven is essentially the hurt that you have inside, and then you try to portray that in something, and Beethoven decides to do it through his music.
I do feel like I always have something to say, and that's Trisha. She always has something to say about everyone and everything. She always wants to talk about things. She always wants to be the one to bring it up, and I can relate to her. I always want things to be addressed. I always want things to be talked about, like things that need to be talked about, I can relate to her like that.
For the actors, portraying the similarly aged characters brought on a few new experiences, as well as some challenges.
This is a character that is easily relatable, and I think that a lot of people can relate. And I, at first, through reading through the scripts, I was skeptical. I was like, wow, can I pull this kind of thing off? Because it really does get emotional. It has a significant impact on how you feel about what your actions may do to another individual. And what you say can and does impact them. So taking that, I think that it was a challenge to actually take that and portray it. And you can only get better with it at time.
I've always been a very pensive person. I've always liked to think about a lot of things, not only death or whatever, but even my own sexuality has allowed me to think a lot of things that maybe others don't usually throughout their lives, or perhaps those thoughts don't come until much, much later. So yeah, I can relate to him on that level where he likes to think about things, and he likes to ponder, and he likes to progress mentally and emotionally. He just kind of needed that push, And I also know how it feels to talk to some of your peers and they have absolutely no clue what you're talking about.
Even with a double cast and busy schedules, the performance troupe made a strong dedication to rehearse.
It's definitely kind of taken its toll, but I mean, it's worth it because it's an art, and it's something that you get to portray. I mean, I work phobia on weekends, and then I work at a school during the weekdays, and you know, being a student is also a kind of a job. And then you had rehearsals, you have to memorize lines and blocking, all that. I mean, it conflicts with everything, of course. So, but finding time for that stuff is important in my opinion, because I mean, it's like I said, it's an art form.
But for myself, the dual casting at first, it kind of irked me. Not because, you know, I don't feel like no one else should have my part or nothing like that. It was just, I thought it would be difficult establishing chemistry with, you know, multiple people instead of just one. Like, how would I know, you know, if I gotta perform one scene with one, like cast A, and then I gotta perform with cast B, it mucks everything up, you know? So, but he's separated into 2 separate casts for each night now. And it's going quite nice.
Dog Sees God will be shown November 29th and November 30th and performed in the Black Box Theater.
Oh, the production of Dog Sees God, absolutely fantastic. My favorite character, Lucy, so funny when she says, God made me do it. The devil made me do it. Pure gold. I absolutely love the director for putting that in.
Yes, absolutely fantastic in my opinion.
On October 11th and 12th, clubs lined up across campus in hopes of drawing new members. Daniel Herrera has more.
It's an annual event that we put on for student organizations and registered student organizations, and it allows for all of our student organizations to have a table at the event and getting exposure to the students.
We have a total of about 56 clubs. Today, well, we set up a table for every single club and a few more actually, and so I would have to walk around and count, but I think everyone showed up.
So what brings you to Club Rush today?
We're just looking at different clubs, trying to see what's out there.
I already joined the gaming club, the environmental club, and I'm planning on doing the student ambassador.
And I'm part of Phi Theta Kappa here. That's why I'm here today. This is an honors group on campus, and I'm actually I'm an officer with the group, so I'm here to help facilitate and recruit new members to our high standards of scholastic achievement.
Oh, I just want candy. That's a good motive.
We are going to be informing the students of kind of the direct terminology about like the GDP. With the upcoming presidential election, they can kind of understand what these candidates are talking about.
Yeah, I actually joined the Latin club just because I like Latin girls.
Exprésate, that one looks like a really good one also, because they do like volunteer work, so that's really cool.
Representing the PAC network. It's power and knowledge. The whole purpose of our organization is to set up, extend student life basically. All we want to do is set up events off campus for students to meet each other, socialize, network, and basically, you know, have a support group to help them, you know, continue college. It's time to begin, isn't it? I get a little bit bigger, but then I'll admit I'm just the same as I was. Now don't you understand? I'm never changing.
it for us. Join us next time. Stay classy, CyFair.